Hello everyone, welcome back to Game Brigade. My name is Bryan, and today we're going to be taking a look at Uprising, Titans of the First Age by Nemesis Games. This show, the Should You Back series, is basically a program where we go through the pledge. We're going to talk about the game, the gameplay aspects, the pledge manager, or not the pledge manager, the pledge levels, and any type of add-ons to help you get a sense of maybe this game is for you or not for you and help you make your backing decisions. So if that is helpful for you, please stay tuned for more. Okay, so here we are on GameFound. That's where we'll be finding the Uprising expansion. Now, I should be clear, Titans of the First Age is an expansion of the original Uprising game. But I am going to be talking about the original game because that is an option to pick it up if you miss it during the original Kickstarter campaign. So this is currently 6 days left. I did a poll asking people what they wanted to see. This is what currently won out for the Wednesday episode, and mostly probably because there's so little time left, 6 days left to get on this campaign. So there is kind of a hurry and let's get going. So what is Uprising? If you are totally new to this, if this is a game you might have seen some ads for, Uprising is a cooperative 4X experience where players will be working together, yet they're still trying to, do their own personal things. They're working together against the enemy AI, and there are two enemy AIs. You have these yellow guys out the outside, and you have the purple guys on the inside. And you're going to be working against them to complete your objectives or go on different types of missions as you eventually try to win. And they are actually, the AI is designed to not only fight you, but fight each other. Like they're also competing against each other. It's a great, interesting experience, and not something that you normally can get. Actually, I can't think of another 4X game that delivers this type of experience. So if you're looking for that unique experience, Uprising is it. So what does this expansion bring? So let's take a look at that. This is the Titan expansion. The Titan expansion is basically be adding more things to the things, as an expansion should. But what's great about this expansion is it is doing modular expansions, things that you could add in or not use depending on your play experience and how do you want to evolve your own experience. Got a little phone messages there. I had to mute my phone. So what is included in the Titans expansion? First off, we're going to be getting 2 new factions with 4 heroes. So each faction right now will always include 2 different heroes. I am really digging the purple faction. This is the faction I will probably play once I pick this up. Haven't really dived too much into the blue faction. I believe they're pirates, and the thing is they're totally different and unique, both factions, than what came in the base game and even in the Arch Nemesis expansion. So I like that they're still exploring the space in terms of how can we take the players' factions, keep them asymmetrical, keep them unique and fresh, and make them still balanced. So that's really cool. So I'm really hyped to see these. We have some mercenaries. The mercenaries are going to be units that you can recruit to join your forces, and they'll basically give modifiers and bonuses to the army that they are attached to. So you can see here this bard will give an after combat effect, but it's going to be the army that she's attached to. That's where you're going to get these benefits from. We have some more hero cards. It's kind of just referencing with these guys up here. We have 2 new Legion and Horde. So these are the 2 different AI factions I talked about, and they're going to be adding some more references in terms of how they're going to play. And I believe I remember them talking about how they're going to the shapeshifter can kind of take on effects of I think the Horde. I don't want to go too much into details because I haven't played the game, but they're definitely going to be having some interesting aspects in terms of how they're going to work together, which is really cool. We have some mercenary chips as just standard components in terms of what we're going to be getting. More tiles, more hexes. The homeland, obviously, we need those for the new factions, but I would love to see if they're going to add any more just additional tiles. I love having more tiles, more locations, more territories that could affect our gameplay, give us some more variety. We have these Chaos Banes. These are things that are going to be added to the AI that are going to be more painful, more annoying, things that are not going to be good, more difficulty level. But that's kind of the theme of Uprising. It's a game that's not meant to be easy. It's a punishing game, and it's a challenge. It's basically giving your player group a challenge to say, okay, how are we going to solve this puzzle? How are we going to win? And you can amp up that difficulty if you find the base game is too simple, or you can turn it down if you find it's a little bit too hard right now. You need more practice to get to that level. So I like that they have these options, and that's kind of the focus of this campaign, is to give you that modularity. And then we have the well-rounded rule book. So if we take a look at the pledge levels, this is where we can kind of make a decision on what we're looking for. So you've got the hero pledge. This is going to basically just be the boxes. Nothing special about this, but you're going to get the Uprising core game. You're going to get the Arch Nemesis expansion, which we haven't really talked too much about. The Arch Nemesis expansion was the first expansion from the original game. Gave you some more end bosses that you could face, as well as some factions that you can add to your game. I got it for the additional factions because I like having more options in terms of what my player group wants to play. We got additional feat cards, and then you also, of course, you got more additional enemies. But what I really wanted this for was the additional factions, but it did add that Arch Nemesis aspect if you wanted that enemy aspect. And then we have the core game, of course, and then you get the Titans of the First Age expansion, the expansion that is being featured right now on this Game Found crowdfunding event. So if you're looking for just gameplay, if you're like, I just want all the gameplay, I don't need all the frills and all the special stuff, the game still is very deluxe. Let me say that right off the bat. The game is high-end deluxe with the components that you're never going to believe were available. $199, it's a great deal, especially because the resale value of Uprising, when the original campaign ended, people received their games. The Uprising and the Arch Nemesis box together were selling for about $180, just those two on the aftermarket. So knowing that they were selling for $180 plus shipping on top of that, you can get this for $199. And add on anything you might want. It's fairly good. You're getting that Uprising or this Titan pledge, which is MSRP $60. You're getting it for a fairly good discount. So that's interesting to know about. And I know that because I was looking into the Uprising aftermarket. I always kind of keep a pulse on where things are at. If you are an original owner of Uprising, if you're just looking for the content of this game, $60 will get you the expansion. If you're looking for just the reprint of the original game, $99. I think that's a fair price. And then if you are a veteran, so again, a person who is coming back from the original campaign, but you want all the things. You want all the nice things. We've got these. I'm not part of them at all. I'm not associated with them. You've got these veteran pledges, but also gives you some additional components that are new to this campaign. So let's take a look at what those are. So obviously we have the Titans expansion, but we also have these deluxeified components. Uprising already had incredible components. They use black core cardboard for a majority of the cardboard that I was aware of, which is like the highest form of cardboard you can get in our industry. But here we are going to be taking the resources and just enhancing them even more. Wooden resources, metal first player markers, metal tokens. So basically taking your product and just enhancing it even more, raising that deluxeification, that bar to another level. If that's something that you're wanting, that is there for the deluxeified components. And then we have the Curses painted miniatures. These are normally standees, acrylic standees, which are fine. They work great in the original game. But if you're wanting to have some more dimension to your product, because remember, you have the fortresses and you have the hideouts. Those are three-dimensional buildings. Those are the only things that give you that dimensional space. Everything else is acrylic, so they're all 2D. This will give you that more 3D dimensional space on the board to give you, if that's something you're interested in. 52 millimeters, incredible size. That's actually going to be pretty big. 52 millimeters. I'm actually thinking that's going to be impressive on the board. Now I want them. I didn't realize they were that big. I thought they'd probably be like 25 to 35. 52, that is impressive. Really, really impressed to see that. And then we have an Allies card pack. The original expansion had a Another card pack, we'll see that in a second. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. This is just more stuff, more cards, just more kind of like a nitro boost, if you want to say, to the content of the game. The base game usually has everything you're going to want, but if you're just wanting a little bit more, you like that variety, you like just having more cards, that's what these card packs are for. And then you have the ultimate pledge. This is everything. If you want the all-in, you're like, I'm in. I want the whole game. I want everything. We're looking at $300. And this also, the armory pack, that's what I was referring to. This includes that armory pack. This was from the original campaign. I had this. I got this because it adds more items to the game. These are loot items that you can get from rewards or you can purchase them to make your characters better, which are very much needed because the game is hard. You need stuff. And so this adds more stuff to make the game better. So this is the all-in pledge. Armory card pack, blessing card packs, another thing to make the game a little better, maybe a little easier. It says the blessing of the old gods are powerful add-ons that will have counter surprise hordes and legions by giving you a bonus card when you defeat them. So not sure what they're going to be, but when you defeat an enemy, you might get a reward that helps you make the game a little easier. And that's probably because Uprising has one of the critiques of the original game. I didn't really notice this too much in my gameplay, but one of the critiques from other people were cascading failure. If you're losing, you're going to lose even more. If you're winning, you're going to win even more, and having that balance. I didn't really experience that. Usually it was pretty balanced in terms of, if we had some bad rolls, we usually had good rolls. I never really got the experience of, we're just cascading. It's getting harder and harder and harder as we went. But I can see that as a thing. Obviously, they wanted to, try to correct that. So that's what mostly this whole campaign is kind of revolving around, making it a little bit more easier to balance for your game group. But the blessing card pack seems like an even better thing to help with that. And what else do we have in here? Deluxe components, miniatures, and everything else. So everything we've already talked about. The core box, you got the expansion, the Arch Nemesis expansion, and all the deluxified components, as well as bonuses to enhance your gameplay. So why back now? Why are we going to be looking back in this? Well, first off, the biggest one is no retail. This is a game that's never going to come to retail. They are strictly an indie developer who doesn't have the resources to also push this out mass market. So if this is a game you like, if this is a game you're interested in, and you want to avoid the aftermarket pricing, that's why you would back the game now. They talk about this within the publisher. I'm actually surprised. I never see this. They're talking about here the crazy prices within the secondary market. I've never seen a campaign talk about that, but it's not wrong. So what can you say? They're not wrong. Give them that. Let's go on down to shipping and VAT, because that is important. If you are EU or UK related, you might have some VAT issues here. United States, Titan or Uprising between £5 and £10, $24. If you're going to be getting like the all-in, $36, that seems about online in terms of United States shipping, what I would expect for a large box. Important note, if you are outside of, if you're in an area that has any VAT will be charged in the Pledge Manager, so make sure you account for that in your budgeting aspects. Make sure you take a look at that. So what do you guys think? Is this a game that you are looking for? Is this a game that's interesting to you? I can let you know that I have enjoyed every game of Uprising I've played. I played this on TTS during the original run of the campaign. I've played this in person now with my personal copy. I don't know if you can see my personal copy. It's still on my display wall back there, which I usually keep my favorite games on my display wall. So if that means something for you, you can take that as you will. What I can say about Uprising, 4X is one of my favorite game types. I love 4X games. It's hard to get 4X games to the table because, one, the game length, two, you usually need at least 4 players or more to really get the experience of a 4X game out there. It's hard to experience that in a 2-player setting, only a 2 or 3-player setting. Only a few games that I've played have made that successful jump. Uprising fixes that because they're going to say, let's play this cooperatively, so you can play with only 2, because we're going to have 2 AIs filling in those other 2 seats. So effectively, you're going to have a 4-player game. I get it's not a 4-player game. Now, understand what I'm trying to say here, okay? That the way the game is designed gives the players the feeling of more going on, more seats at the table than there are, because the AI also will interact with each other. It's really interesting. It gives you that great aspect of playing a 4X game, getting all the fun and joy of combat, exploring, building up your faction in a setting or an ability to have it a lesser player count. Really, really like that. It's one of the main reason Uprising is probably one of my top tier 4X experience games. So take that as you will. That's my opinion. I am backing this game right now at $1 because that's what I usually do. What I also like to say is you always check the pledge banner, see if the game will be more expensive or if they've answered that. If they haven't, ask in the comment section. I'm sure Nemesis.Games will respond to you and let you know what to expect come pledge manager time. They are also doing stretch goals. I didn't talk about this. Stretch goals, though, are daily releases, and they are doing a lot of War Council voting. So if you want to have an impact in this game, if you want to voice your opinion in terms of what is the direction of this game going to go, they are asking in the War Councils, what they're calling it, to vote. And that's basically changing the Banes, changing blessing cards. What do we want the players to feel? And it's interesting because the last one they did, War Council number 9, they said, hey guys, your Banes that you suggested were better than what we had originally templated. Yeah, the template, they had written down. So they're going to change some of them. They're going to take some of the council, the community feedback. It's great. So if you want to be part of that community, you want to be part of the change, I think this would be a good game to back. And that is my recommendation. So hopefully this video was good for you. Hopefully this helped you guys make a decision either to back or not to back. I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are. As I said, I'm back in this game. I like Uprising. It's one of my top games, top 5 games right now for 4X games. The only thing holding it back, it's not a space theme. Space themes are always going to be number 1 for me. That's why Eclipse and TI4 are my number 1 space 4X games. Well, I said space, 4X games in general. But Uprising's up there. Love it. So that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Leave a comment down below. Remember to hit the thumbs up. It helps more than you guys would think. I sometimes think maybe YouTube punishes us for saying that because they're like, hey, don't get around the algorithm. But who knows? Maybe they do. I don't know. I make the videos for you guys, so why not? Who cares? I will talk to you all soon. I'm rambling at the end. Bye-bye.